Good morning, students. Hope all of you are fine. Today, we'll be discussing the topic based on ratio and proportion. First of all, we should know what is a ratio. The ratio of A and B is expressed as A to B, where A and B are called the terms of the ratio. Here, A is known as the first term or the antecedent, and B is called the second term or the consequent. Ratio can be written in three different ways: A to B, A ratio B, and when the ratio sign is being given between the two numbers, they can be written in the form of fraction as A upon B. Because a ratio is a fraction, so B cannot be 0. Ratios are expressed in simplest form. As you can see in the picture here, A ratio B, here A is known as the antecedent and B is known as the consequent. A ratio that compares more than two quantities is called a compound ratio. For example, a cake recipe says the ratio of cups of milk, sugar, and batter are 1:2:4. This means that there is 1 cup of milk for every 2 cups of sugar and 4 cups of batter. For two ratios, M ratio N and P ratio Q, the compound ratio is MP ratio NQ. For example, you can see here 3:4 and 2:3. If we have to find out the compound ratio between these two given ratios, then the compound ratio will be equal to 3:2 ratio 4:3. 3:2 means 6 ratio 4:3 is 12. 6:12 can be written as 6 upon 12, which can be changed into the lowest term as 1:2. So, in order to find out the compound ratio, we have to multiply the very first term of the two ratios and then the second term of the two ratios. Product of the consequents. A ratio is called the compound ratio of two or more given ratios when its antecedent is the product of the antecedents of the given ratio and consequent is the product of the consequent of the given ratio. How to use the ratio? Example is the ratio of boys and girls in the class is 12:11. This can be written as 12 upon 11. This means for every 12 boys, you can find 11 girls to match. There could be just 12 boys, 11 girls. There could be 24 boys, 22 girls. Or there could be 120 boys and 110 girls, a huge class. The ratio of length and width of the rectangle is 4:1. Length is given as 4 centimeter and the breadth is given as 1 centimeter. What is the ratio? If the rectangle is 8 centimeter long and 2 centimeter wide, still 4:1 only, because for every 4 centimeter, you can find 1 centimeter to match. The ratio of cats and dogs at my home is 2:1. How many dogs and cats do I have? We don't know. All we know is if they start a fight, each dog has to fight 2 cats. The ratios we saw on the last slide were as all simplified. The ratio of boys and girls can be written as 12:11. The ratio of the rectangle is 4:1. And the ratio of cats and dog in my house is 2:1. That means 2:1. Now I tell you, I have 12 cats and 6 dogs. Can you simplify the ratio of the cats and dogs to 2:1? 12 upon 6. If you want to change out into lowest term, you can just divide out both the numbers by 6. That is, the greatest common factor is 6 over here. So divide both the numerator and the denominator by their greatest common factor 6. You will be getting the ratio in the simplest form as 2:1. A person's arm is 80 centimeter. He is 2 meter tall. Find the ratio of the length of his arm to his total height. To compare them, we need to convert both the numbers into the same unit, either in centimeter or in meters. Let us try the centimeter first. Arm upon height. Arm is given as 80 centimeter and height is given as 2 meter. So we'll be converting out the height in terms of centimeter. We know that 1 meter is equal to 100 centimeter. So 2 meter is equal to 200 centimeter. So the ratio of the arm and height can be written as 80 upon 200. Once we have changed out both the numbers into the same unit, we can be able to simplify them. Now here 80 upon 200 can be written as 2 upon 5. The arm length is given as 80 centimeter and height is given as 2 meter. Converting out 80 centimeter in terms of meter, divide this number by 100, you will be getting 0.8 meter. And the height is already given in terms of meter. So it is equal to 2 meter. Once we have the same unit, again we can be able to simplify it. To make both the numbers integers, we multiply both the numerator and denominator by 10. Cancel out the numbers, you will be getting again the answer as 2 upon 5. If the numerator and denominator do not have the same unit, it may be easier to convert the smaller unit so we don't have to work with decimals. Of course, if they are already in the same unit, we don't have to worry about converting. It is a good deal. Now, some more examples are being given here in this exercise. 8 upon 24. 8 and 24 both are divisible by 8. So you can write down this number as 8 ones are 8 and 8 threes are 24. Answer is 1 upon 3. 40 upon 200. 0 and 0 can be cancelled off. 4 ones are 4 and 4 fives are 20. So the answer is 1 upon 5. 12 upon 50. Both the numbers are divisible by 2. 2 6 are 12 and 2 25s is 50. So the answer is equal to 6 upon 25. 27 by 18. Both the numbers are divisible by 9. So 9 threes is 27 and 9 twos is 18. The answer is equal to 3 by 2. And the last part, 27 by 9. Both the numbers are divisible by 9. 9 threes are 27 and 9 ones are 9. So the answer is equal to 3 by 1. Now what is a proportion? A proportion is an equation that equates two ratios. For example, A upon B is equal to C upon D. The ratio of dogs and cats, suppose it is given as 3 by 2. And if we have to find out, the ratio of the dogs and cats can now also be written as 6 by 4, which can be changed out into the lowest term as 3 by 2. So we have a proportion 3 by 2 is equal to 6 by 4. Now A ratio B and C ratio D. In between you can be able to see out two dots which is known as proportion. The outer numbers A and D are known as the extremes and the middle numbers are B and C are known as means. Now we will be discussing out some of the properties of the proportion. 3 by 2 is equal to 6 by 4. If the ratio is given like this, you can take out 3 into 4, that is also coming equal to 12, and 2 into 6, that is also coming equal to 12. This is known as cross product property. A upon B is equal to C upon D can be written as A into D is equal to B into C according to the property of cross multiplication. D and B are known as means, while A and C are known as extremes. Let's make sense of the cross product property. For any four numbers given A, B, C, D, A upon B is equal to C upon D. You can multiply A upon B by the alphabet D over here is equal to C upon D into D. D and D can be cancelled off. So A upon B into D is equal to C. We can be able to write down this number as product of extreme is equal to product of means, where A and D are the extreme numbers and B and C are the means. Let us discuss the second property of proportion, which is known as reciprocal property. If 3 upon 2 is equal to 6 upon 4, then you can take the reciprocal of both the fractions. 2 upon 3 is equal to 4 by 6. This is known as reciprocal property. Now let us discuss some of the examples. We have to solve for the value of x. 7 by 2 is equal to x by 6. Cross multiply the numbers. 7 into 6 is equal to 2 into x. 7 6 is 42 is equal to 2x. Now we have to find out the value of x. So the number which is in multiplication with x will be going in the denominator and 42 will be coming in the numerator. So x will be equal to 42 divided by 2. Answer is equal to 21. Let us discuss one more example here. 7 upon 2 is equal to 12 upon x. Again, you use the property for cross multiplication. 7 into x is equal to 2 into 12. We have to calculate the value of x. So the number which is in multiplication with x, that means 7 will be going in the denominator and 24 will be coming in the numerator. So the value of x will be equal to 24 by 7. Now, can you solve this one out? 7 upon x minus 1 is equal to 3 upon x. You can use the property of cross product. 7 into x is equal to 3 will be multiplied to both the numbers x minus 1. So we'll be putting out x minus 1 in the bracket, keeping 3 outside the bracket. 3 will be multiplied to both the numbers on the right hand side. 7x is equal to 3x minus 3. Take the numbers which are having x on one side, keeping the remaining numbers on the other side. So 7x minus 3x will be giving you 4x. And on the right hand side, we are left with the number minus 3. We have to calculate the value of x. So the number which is in multiplication with x will be going in the denominator and the value for x will be equal to minus 3 by 4.